The diner buzzed with the familiar hum of chatter, the clinking of coffee cups, and the
What are you
golden
doing?
glow of a perfect afternoon. But in one shocking instant, that warmth shattered, replaced by a cruel laugh and the splash of cold water. A glass tipped. Water streamed down the face of a young pregnant woman sitting quietly in the corner booth. Her plate of pancakes trembled as she gasped, soaked through her blouse and blazer. The waiter who'd poured it, his name tag reading Brad, laughed with his friends, their blue diner uniforms gleaming beneath the harsh lights. What they didn't know was that the woman they'd just humiliated wasn't just another customer. She was Grace Holloway, the wife of a man who was walking through that very door. A man once feared, once lost, but now redeemed. A former Hell's Angel who'd traded chaos for love. If you believe in kindness, redemption, and second chances, stay with us. Because what happens next will remind you that compassion can change even the hardest hearts. Grace hadn't even wanted to come. 7 months pregnant, tired and lonely, she missed her husband, Cole, who spent most days running his small motorcycle repair shop, fighting to stay out of the life he'd once lived. This diner had been their place, where he used to bring her milkshakes after long rides. Sitting in the same booth, she traced her fingers along the chrome edge, remembering gentler days. Then came Brad. His tone was sharp when she asked to have her meal reheated. "We're not running a 5-star restaurant," he muttered, eyes full of attitude. Grace stayed calm. She'd been a teacher once. She knew how to handle arrogance. But when Brad returned, smirking with a glass in hand, she never expected what came next. The water struck her like a slap. The splash echoed across the diner. Laughter followed, cruel and cutting. Grace froze, clutching her belly as humiliation burned through her chest. And then, the bell above the door jingled. The laughter died instantly. 5 men stepped in, boots thudding on the checkered floor, leather vests glinting in the light. The Hell's Angels patch blazed on their backs. At the front stood Cole Holloway, his eyes locked on the scene, his pregnant wife drenched and trembling, surrounded by laughing waiters. His face went pale, then darkened. His jaw tightened. Grace looked up. Tears streaked her face. Their eyes met, her pain, his rage, and the silence between them said everything. Cole didn't shout. He didn't need to. His presence alone silenced the room. He walked forward slowly, his brothers spreading behind him like shadows. Brad stepped back, his smirk gone. Cole stopped beside Grace's booth, brushed a trembling hand across her shoulder, and asked softly, "You all right, sweetheart?" Grace nodded weakly. "I'm fine," she whispered, but her eyes said otherwise. Cole turned to Brad. His voice dropped, calm but deadly. "That's my wife." The words landed heavy. Brad froze. Cole lifted the same glass used to humiliate her and pressed it gently into Brad's hand. "You think it's funny?" he said quietly. "Try laughing now." Grace's trembling hand caught his arm. "Cole, please." "Not like this. Let's just go." Her voice, soft, pleading, full of grace, broke through his anger. He breathed, then nodded. Grace stood, soaked but strong, reclaiming her dignity with every step. Cole removed his leather vest and draped it around her shoulders. Together they walked out. As they passed, an older biker with a long gray beard paused by Brad and said quietly, "Son, there are 2 kinds of men in this world, those who laugh at pain and those who learn from it. Don't ever find yourself on the wrong side again." The door closed. Silence remained. Brad stood motionless, the glass trembling in his hand. Days passed, but the moment haunted him. Grace's eyes, Cole's silence, the weight of his own cruelty. And maybe, in some small way, it changed him. Because sometimes the lessons that break you are the ones that finally make you human. Months later, on a rainy morning, Grace returned. The diner felt different, quieter, humbler. Brad was still there, but the arrogance was gone. He froze when he saw her, then slowly approached. Setting a steaming cup of coffee before her, he said softly, "I'm sorry, ma'am." "For everything," Grace smiled faintly. "We all make mistakes," she said. "It's what we do after that matters." Outside, thunder rolled. Inside, something had healed. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that kindness can change lives, like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Because the world needs more compassion and more stories that restore faith in it. As Grace stepped out into the rain, her newborn in her arms, a leather jacket waited for her by the door. A quiet reminder that strength and gentleness can live in the same heart.